Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I wanted to talk about the illusory nature of the mind. Why are there so many names of God? And why do we sometimes feel as though we are praying to many different deities? Why do people of different faiths who often believe in the same divine essence still feel themselves? Why do spiritual traditions which speak of peace and unity sometimes give rise to arguments and judgments and separations? These questions are worth reflecting, for they touch something essential in human life. The discriminating mind is always active within us, constantly dividing, labeling, and comparing. This function has its value, yet often it is misapplied. Instead of guiding us into clarity, which is it becomes a restless habit, creating unnecessary distinctions and conflicts. The discriminating mind is not bad in itself, it is a tool. But do we truly know how to quiet it when needed? Do we know how to rest it in acceptance of others with their beliefs and ways of life? To move closer to truth and inner peace requires not a new ideology or a belief, but a deeper understanding of the nature of mind itself. When we recognize that the mind is like a dream, ever shifting and never permanent, we begin to see through its illusions, just as one awakens from sleep and no longer clings to the images of a dream, so too can we awaken from the endless judgments and divisions and discriminations of the mind. The illusory nature of mind reveals itself not as an enemy but as something transient, like a river flowing towards the stillness of the ocean. The mind has a unique mechanism that makes its play appear real. It persuades consciousness towards it, countless desires and imaginations. It also acts as a bridge between inner energy and the outer world. Every day, the life force within us rises like a current, waiting to be expressed. The mind shapes this energy into action, into work, love, art, all actions. The body is sustained through this same current of energy as consciousness and as personality. We hold responsibility as consciousness, and as we hold responsibility of how this energy is going to be expressed. The mind converts experience into thought, then repeats to, then seeks to repeat it. When something feels good, the impression is stored deeply, along with the desire to return to that feeling. Thought then begins recreating, calculating, and longing to repeat the experience. Yet the first encounter with anything is fresh, alive, and full of wonder. In that moment, though thought has not yet intervened, afterwards judgment and memory step in and we try to reproduce the same experience, but the more we chase it, the more the raw aliveness slips away, replaced by the echo of thought. This is the cycle of mind. We repeat activities, relationships, and rituals hoping to touch again the freshness of our first encounter. Desire becomes the root of thought, and thought becomes the attempt to relive. Whether in daily life or in spiritual practice, this pattern appears. Prayer, meditation, service, or devotion all can become cycles. When we cling to repeat a certain feeling, the practices themselves are not wrong. They are beautiful. But clinging to the feeling they once gave us strengthens this illusory play of mind. To see this clearly is not to abandon our practices, but to understand them. Outer activities cannot by themselves alter the essence of our being. Just as a movie projected on a screen cannot harm the screen itself, so too the mind's play cannot touch the depth of consciousness. Eternal wisdom then is not about repeating experiences, but about awakening. It is that which every human being, regardless of culture, background, or belief, can recognize within themselves. Prayers, rituals, and practices may continue, but their grip loosens. Instead of being bound by expectation, one begins to see that the true presence lies beyond thought. The divine is not contained in repetition of a practice or a book, but glimpsed in stillness. At first, this recognition can feel unsettling. The intellect, which gathers knowledge, analyzes, and calculates, resists dissolving. We feel attached to the mind because it has given us so much education, understanding, skill, money, and power. Letting go of it feels like a loss. Yet, trust alone allows us to step beyond its limits. In the beginning, this journey may feel like moving through darkness with only a small glimmer of light ahead. But as we walk with patience, the light expands until it surrounds us completely. Consciousness then begins to illuminate not only waking life, but also dreams and sleep. Slowly, awareness pervades everything. To see through the illusions of the mind is not to reject the mind, but to understand its nature. The mind is a river, consciousness is the ocean. When the river returns to its source, the turbulence subsides, and what remains is peace, eternal peace. That is when the illusory nature of the mind becomes clear. That is when you glimpse your true nature, your true being, which is always present in every experience of life and even beyond life. Thank you for watching this video.